Hey guys, Thayer Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we have Mr. Brian Bean on from the great state of Arkansas. Brian just finished in the top 5 of the 2022 BFL All-Americans. So we got a lot of great content coming your way tonight, talking about the recent 2022 BFL All-American on Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So this is going to be a great show. You won't want to miss this, especially coming from a native Arkansas angler. Before we get started, let's pause for just a few seconds for a quick commercial. See that right there? That could be the difference between a good night's sleep and a bad night's sleep before your next deer hunt or blasting off to your next bass tournament. We all know that sleep is extremely critical. That's why at Revital Outdoors, we created the premium CBD soft gels with melatonin. You get our premium CBD oil plus 2 milligrams of melatonin to help you sleep better at night. So check these out on our website. These are a favorite among our pro staff, even professional anglers out there and professional hunters that we don't even sponsor. They rely on the Revital Outdoors premium CBD soft gels with melatonin. Always remember THC free. We're committed to being a worker-friendly brand. You're never going to fail a drug test, and also made right here in America. Use the code YouTube20 right here to save 20% off your order. And always remember, if you spend more than $50 on our website, you get free 2-day shipping. Now, with that being said, let's get back to the show. All right, thank you for joining us back on this podcast. Again, we got Mr. Brian Bean on, who just finished 4th place at the 2022 BFL All-American. So let's go ahead and bring Brian straight into the studio. Brian, how you doing this evening? First and foremost, congratulations on your top 5 finish. I know it's not what you wanted, but hey, nonetheless, making the All-American is tough enough. Making that final day and then capturing that top 5 is a force to be reckoned with. So, man, talk about your tournament and, how's it been the last couple of days?
Oh, it was pretty amazing. I know that's a chance of a lifetime. And, there's a lot of good anglers that fish that. I was very fortunate, I wish I could have done a little better, but, I'm thankful for the opportunity. And the fish kind of took a little 180 on me, I guess you'd say. I spent a couple days over there in practice before the cutoff. Not much, because I kind of had in my mind what I wanted to do. I love fishing offshore brush piles, throwing a big power worm. I think the last day of cutoff, I caught 2 really big fish, close to, around 5 pounders actually, and jumped like a 4-pounder off. And I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I really honestly thought I could catch 12 to possibly 15 pounds on a good day, if things went right. And, just the big, those big fish, I don't know, they just weren't in the mood to bite, I guess.
I got you. Well, just recapping your event, the first day of the tournament, you weighed in 11 pounds, 13 ounces, which was a pretty solid bag for the first day. A lot of anglers weighed in that, 8 or 9 pounds. A lot of limits weighed in on the boater side, which tells me there was a lot of fish caught throughout the tournament on top waters. You were doing a little something different. I knew you weren't going to do the traditional pattern that everyone else was doing because you know that lake so well. On day 2, you've backed that up with 10 pounds, 7 ounces. And then the final day, your limit weighed 8 pounds and 8 ounces. So needless to say, you had a limit each day. They kind of faltered out on you a little bit, but you stayed pretty consistent. And it seemed like looking at the live and all the coverage that was going on, you stuck to your game plan of throwing that power worm out deep, running basically history on the lake.
Yes, that was what I really felt like I could actually, win doing that. You can catch a 5-pounder, you can catch a 6-pounder just as easy, doing the brush pile deal as you can up shallow. Saturday, well, the first official tournament day, we caught probably 50 to 60 keepers. My conger had 9 pounds even. The second day it got, it was tougher. And then the last day, Saturday, man, they absolutely abandoned me. And I stuck to my game plan too long. I jumped up there on the bank in the last hour or 2 and actually probably made some good TV. I lost one big one at the boat and had a couple blow-ups that I think they got to see them. And it got intense. I caught my best fish. I had 5 bites in one bay and things, could have got right real quick. It just didn't happen.
I got you. What do you think, factored into that? Do you think you were fishing them too hard? Do you think they just didn't reload? Do you think the amount of pleasure boat traffic on Lake Hamilton had something to do with it? Was it the heat? We think about brush pile fishing, we look at some of the notorious lakes down in Texas, Louisiana, the guys that are fishing brush always seem to do well. Even the guys fishing in Tennessee Valley, Kentucky Lake and Pickwick. They're fishing brush. They reload really well. Hamilton, totally different story. What do you think happens?
I think those, like you say about not reloading, they just got so educated because, as well as I do, it is so hard to hide brush now. And there was so much rotation going. I've seen a couple places that got fished every minute on the minute. As soon as one pulled off, one pulled. I mean, I think it was the pressure that, I think that's what done it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I know about Lake Hamilton, just from my history being there, and I actually had a friend of mine who is on the Revital Outdoors pro staff, Mr. Hunter Eubanks. He got second in the event. I remember him calling me after the first day. He goes, dude, there's a difference between brush piles in this lake and brush piles in this lake. Like, my goodness, I've never seen so many brush piles in my life. And I mean, he's absolutely true. You idle out from the ramp, turn on your graph, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. There's so much brush in that lake.
Yeah, I tried to focus on the shallower green brush. That's what I focused mainly on.
I got you. How many keepers did you catch each day?
The first day we caught a ton. I mean, honestly, we probably caught 50 or 60 keepers. The second day probably only caught 15. And the last day, I caught some keepers, but they were 12 inches. I don't really consider those keepers.
Right. I got you. Well, if you don't mind, I know you got a great sponsor base behind you. You used a lot of those products this week. Kind of run us down what you were throwing. You mentioned throwing the power worm, maybe the rod and reel setup, line. What is it that you would recommend an angler to go out right now in Lake Hamilton and catch just some good quality bass and have a good time?
Well, I threw, the big power worm. That's what done it for me. If I was going to go back out, I'd take I did actually catch one good one. I think they got it caught it on a shaky head on a hit worm. I downsized right now because they are finicky, and it's kind of getting into the summertime fishing. It's going to get tough.
I got you. Yeah, we definitely saw that. There was some other locals in the area that were fishing that tournament that just didn't do well. I mean, that tells me how tough it was. Very unpredictable. Connor Cunningham, the guy that won the tournament, I think he was just able to find that magical little deal. And at the end of the day, it was meant to be his tournament from the get-go. No one could really contest with that. So definitely, Hamilton, I honestly, looking at the weights, to me, Hamilton fished pretty normal.
Yeah. It was hats off to that dude. He caught a heck of a bag the first day. That carried him through, giving him the confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. A 17-pound bag on Hamilton can pretty well seal the deal before the other 2 days. So, well, Brian, before we let you go, again, congratulations on making that All-American, making the final day cut, and then that top 5. I know this won't be the last time we see you at the BFL All-American. What's left for you in 2022? What's your goals? And are you starting to kind of think about next year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wore out. I did make the Toyota Championship. I know Gunnerville does not set up for the way I like to fish, but I may go give it a shot. I'm looking forward to going to Grand Regionals up there, and I feel pretty confident about that. I may not catch a fish like last time. I had an awesome practice. That's an awesome place, and just kind of take a break and get ready for fall fishing, I guess.
I got you. So, well, for all the listeners out there, this is the first time we've had an angler on for the third time. Brian has been on our podcast with Vital Outdoors for 3 times now, so we're very honored to have him on our podcast again. Probably won't be the last time either. So for all listeners out there, you've been talking to Mr. Brian Bean, an Arkansas angler who just got done fishing the BFL All-American on Lake Hamilton, where he finished 4th place. So from all of us at Vital Outdoors, thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be sure before we let you go, see the links in our description. Check out our website. You can purchase all of our CBD products on there. Remember, THC free, made right here in America. We have a $2,500 giveaway going on right now. Make sure you hit that link at the top of the description. It just takes a few seconds to get in. We've got great partners in on this. No angler's going to want to miss out on this giveaway, so get in on that. And then also subscribe to our YouTube channel before we let you go. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, I'm Theron Asbury. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there, everyone. God bless. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.